Hey guys, Angryaa here. As some of you may have heard, Revenants, the new spectre that's being added in The Awakening, have been nerfed. The nerf consists of a 30% damage reduction, as well as reducing the amount of projectiles that they fire from 5 to 3. As you can imagine, there's been a whole lot of salt about this nerf, with people decrying summoners and saying that they're completely useless now. I actually spent some time testing them in the game, and while they do less damage, it doesn't actually seem like the end of the world, and with a few adjustments to my build and character, clearing a map's just as fine. Hell, I can barely notice the clear speed difference. Now, while I was perusing on Reddit, I read so much salt about this nerf, often before testing was even done, and I have to read it to you guys because I was enjoying it so much. So here I have with me the Book of Salt. I have now played with the Revenants in a few maps, and comparing it to pre-patch, they are now almost trash tier in clear speed and damage. Fellow summoners, it's official. Revenants are bad. What is our new tier list? Instead of complaining about the changes, can we actually discuss what is good? Lantern guys, flame sentinels, evangelists, giant bow guys. What links for each? I'm not really sure. This guy didn't seem to consider the fact that Revenants might still actually be good. I tested them at Dried Lake. They are complete shit now. Not only do they do 30% less damage, they also shoot 3 instead of 5, with Echo 6 instead of 10, 18 instead of 30. Shit tier now. Revenants are indeed bad, GGG. Why change them for 2 weeks? But you never changed Evangelist for a year when they were the dominant Spectre choice. I think this guy missed the fact that Evangelists were actually nerfed in 2 separate patches. And this guy's is my favorite. Yeah, I'm done. Couldn't even AoE clear the boss room in Jungle Valley as a level 880 summoner with 4 Revenants. What a beep joke! I hope the people responsible are sacked. You heard it first, guys. Path of Melee has begun. Time to reroll Cock Cyclone. Yeah, now look. I understand. We react negatively to nerfs. We don't like losing power. We don't like it taken away from us. But the reality was that Revenants could do absurd amounts of damage and insta-clear everything with absolutely no damage investment. Now, the game has changed. Now you actually need to invest in your Revenants to get decent levels of clear speed, and your gear actually matters. I think this is great. I was a bit kind of disgusted at the fact that I could easily clear maps with a 4-link Revenant. I barely even noticed the addition of a 5-link really, because it already did so much damage. So anyway, how have I adjusted my character to take into account the Spectre nerf? One of the most important things you need to do is you need to get your Spectres more projectiles now. I think if you're running a 5-link, you need to run laser multiple projectiles instead of lightning penetration. This will give them the old projectile spread back. And you know what? Their damage is still pretty good even after the nerf. The next step is increasing their damage a bit more than you might be usually used to. This basically what you need to do is run the Wrath Aura, which gives them a multiplicative bonus to their lightning damage. And on top of that, you probably want to swap out one of your defensive curses for an offensive curse. So if you're running Enfeeble and Temporal Chains, swap out the Temporal Chains and put in Conductivity to increase their damage and to proc a couple of shocks. My Spectres have been shocking rares with the Conductivity curse. I've been very impressed with the performance of Conductivity for DPS. Finally, if you really want to get your Revenants to OP mode, what you really need to get yourself is a Sire of Shards. The Sire of Shards adds 4 additional projectiles to anything linked inside of it. An interesting interaction they have with Revenants, however, is that Revenants do not fire their projectiles in a Nova like any other skill in the game when linked into Sire of Shards. What this basically means is that you get a free greater multiple projectiles on your Revenants without any damage penalty, which makes it better than a free link. It's more like a link and a half. It's amazing, and I'm really enjoying my clear speed and maps using the Sire of Shards. However, I did check out Revenants with just a normal 5-link, and they're fine. Again, just use Wrath Aura, use an offensive curse, and your clear speed will be almost the same as it was pre-patch. So in short, Yes, Revenants have been nerfed. Are they the best Spectre for summoners? I think so. I think the interaction with their projectiles and chain is still too good to pass up. And just invest in a bit more damage and you'll really see how good summoners can be at clearing maps. Just be a bit more careful. You've lost a bit of defense, not too much, but a bit. So be careful on maps out there. But I think Revenants are still in a good spot. As per usual, when things get nerfed, the sky is not falling. It'll be okay. Hope you've enjoyed this video and I'll see you next time. This is Angryaa AA. Cheers.